Welcome back. In today's video, we're diving into the top 10 most valuable steel and copper wheat pennies that could potentially make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard that right. These small, humble coins could be worth a fortune in the right condition. So, stick around as we unveil these hidden treasures and their jaw-dropping values. First up, the 1943 wheat penny is one of the most famous coins in U.S. numismatics due to its unique composition. During World War II, there was a significant shortage of copper because it was being used for ammunition and other war materials. As a result, the U.S. Mint made a crucial decision to switch from the traditional copper material to steel for pennies. These pennies were coated in zinc, making them appear silver in color. However, not all 1943 steel pennies were created equal. Variations in mint mark D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and certain manufacturing errors have made these coins even more collectible and valuable. Coins with lamination damage are particularly intriguing to collectors because of the rare nature of the defect. The design of the 1943 wheat penny remained largely unchanged from earlier years. The obverse features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse, designed by Felix Slag, features the iconic wheat ears that give the coin its common name, the wheat penny. The D mint mark is located below the date, identifying it as having been minted in Denver. Lamination damage occurs when the layers of metal do not properly bond during the minting process, causing a peeling or flaking of the coin's surface. The 1943 D steel wheat penny had a total mintage of about 91 million coins. However, most of these pennies did not survive in pristine condition, as the steel was prone to rust and corrosion over time. A 1943 D in lamination damage condition adds a unique element to the coin's value, as the error can make it stand out among other examples. Lamination damage on a 1943 D can significantly increase its value, depending on the severity of the damage and the overall condition of the coin. A 1943 D steel penny in lamination damage condition can fetch anywhere from $367,300 at auction, with particularly rare or well-preserved specimens reaching even higher values, especially if the lamination error is pronounced. Errors like lamination damage have always sparked interest in the numismatic community because they make each coin a unique specimen. Collectors who specialize in error coins, such as struck through errors or die cracks, often seek out these rarities to add to their collections. Additionally, the historical significance of the 1943 steel penny, which was produced in the midst of wartime production shortages, makes this coin an even more attractive investment for collectors and investors alike. Next up, the 1943 S steel wheat penny was produced during the U.S. Mint's shift to steel coins in response to copper shortages during World War II. The S mint mark indicates that this penny was minted in San Francisco, adding another layer of rarity compared to its more commonly found counterparts minted in Denver and Philadelphia. The year 1943 is crucial because it was the only year in U.S. history that pennies were made from steel rather than copper. The steel core was coated with zinc, which gave the coin a silvery appearance. Collectors often refer to these as wartime pennies because of the specific context under which they were minted. However, the real appeal to numismatists today lies not just in the fact that this coin was made from steel, but in the errors that occurred during its minting, particularly the lamination damage that is unique to some example. The design of the 1943 S steel penny is essentially the same as other wheat pennies from this period. On the obverse, you'll find Abraham Lincoln's profile along with the inscription "In God We Trust," and the year of minting. The reverse displays the two stalks of wheat with the coin's E pluribus un a motto and the mint mark beneath. Lamination damage occurs when layers of the coin's metal do not bond together properly during the minting process. This issue can result in areas where the coin's surface begins to flake off or peel. While lamination damage can occur on any coin, it is relatively rare and even more so on coins that were minted in large quantities like the 1943 S. The total mintage of the 1943 S steel penny was about 100 million coins. While these coins were produced in large numbers, only a small fraction remain in good condition today. Lamination damage can either lower or enhance the value of a coin, depending on how it's perceived by collectors. Generally, coins with lamination errors are seen as more interesting to collectors, as they are distinctive. A 1943 steel wheat penny in lamination damage condition is worth anywhere from $434,500, depending on the degree of the damage. Well-preserved examples, where the damage is more subtle, might fetch even higher prices at auctions. For collectors interested in error coins, the 1943 steel penny with lamination damage is an exceptional find. This coin is a prime example of a historical accident, one that adds to the story of how the U.S. Mint operated under wartime conditions. Error collectors are particularly drawn to coins like this because they offer a unique window into the minting process, showcasing the imperfections that can arise even during mass production. Given the rarity of the 1943 steel penny in general, adding the layer of lamination damage makes it a coin that could be highly desirable to the right buyer. Prices can fluctuate, but collectors are likely to pay more for a coin with distinctive errors. Next up, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny holds a special place in U.S. coinage history. During World War II, the U.S. government faced a copper shortage, which led to a significant shift in the material used for producing pennies. As copper was needed for ammunition and other war materials, the U.S. Mint began producing pennies using steel coated in zinc. This was a temporary measure to ensure the continued production of the 1-cent coin without using copper. The 1943 penny is particularly famous because it was the only year in which U.S. pennies were made from steel. Most of the 1943 pennies were minted with AD or S mint mark, indicating the Denver and San Francisco mints, but some rare 1943 pennies were struck without a mint mark, specifically those minted in Philadelphia. The lack of a mint mark on these coins further contributes to their value and rarity. The design of the 1943 Lincoln steel penny remained the same as the previous year. The obverse features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse showcases the classic wheat stalks design, also created by Brenner. The steel body of the coin, while visually striking, is the main difference compared to the traditional copper penny. The absence of copper in its composition made the 1943 steel penny more susceptible to corrosion, which is why many of these coins are found in bad condition. A penny in poor condition with a lot of wear and tear, including discoloration and corrosion, will typically have a much lower market value compared to a pristine example. The 1943 Lincoln steel penny was minted in large quantities with a total mintage of over 1 billion coins across all mints. However, due to the steel composition, many of these pennies became damaged, corroded, and worn down over the years. In bad condition, a 1943 steel penny without a mint mark can still hold a modest value. It's valued auction $200,000, depending on the level of wear and market interest. Coins in bad condition, particularly those with visible corrosion or heavy damage, can still fetch decent prices at auction, especially if they are rare and have historical significance. Auction prices can fluctuate based on the condition, but rare variants of the 1943 steel penny are known to be in demand among collectors. Collectors are drawn to the 1943 Lincoln steel penny, not only because of its historical importance, but also due to its error varieties. The most famous error is the 1943 copper penny, which occurred when some copper planchettes from previous years were mistakenly fed into the 1943 steel penny presses. These errors are extremely valuable, but they are rare. A steel penny in bad condition with visible errors or anomalies may also attract interest from error coin enthusiasts. The 1943 steel penny continues to be a coin of interest due to its unique material, its connection to World War II, and its status as a transitional piece in U.S. coinage history. Even in bad condition, the historical context alone makes this coin a sought-after item in numismatic circles. Next up, the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny represents a period in U.S. coinage when the design of the Lincoln penny had been in circulation for nearly 2 decades. The wheat design, introduced in 1909, was created by Victor David Brenner and remained in use until 1958. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during the Great Depression, a challenging time for the U.S. economy. Despite the hardships, coin production continued, and the penny remained a crucial part of everyday currency. The 1937 Lincoln penny, without a mint mark, which indicates it was minted in Philadelphia, was produced in substantial quantities. However, the poor economic climate of the era and the high circulation of these coins meant that many 1937 pennies show signs of wear, damage, and discoloration over time. The design of the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny is iconic, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. On the reverse two stalks of wheat frame, the words 1 cent, a design that became a hallmark of the coin for nearly 50 years. The simplicity and elegance of this design made it beloved by collectors. In terms of the red color and dirty condition of the coin, this could indicate the coin was heavily circulated, possibly exposed to the elements or stored improperly. While dirt and tarnish can sometimes be removed, a coin in this state often has lower market value due to the damage and the less than ideal preservation. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark had a mintage of over 150 million coins, meaning it is not particularly rare. However, due to its age and the fact that many were lost or deteriorated over time, the remaining examples can have considerable value, especially those in better condition, in red or mint state condition. The 1937 penny can be worth around $286,000, but in dirty or damaged condition, the price might drop to a few dollars. While the 1937 penny is not known for significant errors, collectors still appreciate it for its historical context. The wear and damage found on a coin in dirty condition might reduce its marketability, but it can still attract interest from collectors focused on coin age, minting history, or other unique qualities. Coins with vivid red coloration, even when dirty, can sometimes pique the interest of collectors looking for coins with vibrant toning. Collectors of the Lincoln wheat penny series are particularly passionate about finding rare variations, even those with minor imperfections, as these coins provide insight into the history of U.S. currency. Some collectors even focus on uncleaned coins, as they are often seen as more original than polished examples. Next up, the 1918 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that may seem unassuming at first glance, but holds remarkable value due to its historical significance and unique features. Today, we'll be focusing on one that's not in perfect condition. It has some visible scratches, color fading, and damage. But even in such a state, this coin can still command impressive prices. The 1918 Lincoln wheat cent was minted as part of the ongoing series introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. The wheat penny, with its iconic wheat stalk reverse and bust of Lincoln on the obverse, is one of the most recognized designs in American numismatics. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the image of Lincoln was the first time a president appeared on a U.S. coin, marking a significant departure from the previous design traditions. However, this particular 1918 penny, while common in many collections, is special because of its damaged condition and historical context. Many 1918 pennies have survived in pristine condition, but the real market value comes from how well the coin can tell its story, a story of age, usage, and preservation. The coin in question, in its damaged state, has a noticeable patina, some discoloration from oxidation, and a few scratches and abrasions on the surface, which make it more intriguing for collectors who are after coins with character. Even in its worn state, this coin holds intrinsic value due to its minting year during World War I, a pivotal time in American history. The 1918 penny is part of a series that continued to circulate during wartime, giving it an added layer of significance. The penny's color shade, which may range from reddish-brown to a more copper-toned shade, adds a unique visual aspect to this particular coin. Regarding mintage, the 1918 penny was struck in large numbers, with over 300 million pieces produced across various minting facilities. This made it one of the most accessible pennies for collectors, and many of them are found in circulated conditions today. The lack of a mint mark suggests that this particular coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the largest minting facility in the U.S. during this period. Now, despite the visible damage and imperfections, this coin still has immense collector interest. Depending on the auction market and its overall appeal to buyers, you could expect this particular 1918 wheat penny to fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100s, especially when sold by a collector who appreciates the story behind a worn coin. Interestingly, coins like these, with visible damage, color variation, and surface wear, can sometimes attract collectors who are more interested in the history of the coin than its physical perfection. That said, the value largely depends on the severity of the scratches and the overall eye appeal of the coin. A severely scratched and damaged coin may see a drop in price, but coins that exhibit a natural aging process can sometimes see their values rise if they come from a rare or highly sought after year. In summary, while this 1918 wheat penny may not be in mint condition, it still holds a place in the hearts of collectors. The coin's historical significance, despite its wear, adds to its allure. Collectors continue to seek out coins like this one, willing to pay a premium for the right piece of numismatic history. Next up, we have a 1950 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and the S mint mark, which means it was minted at the San Francisco Mint. This coin is a true gem in fine condition, and it's a great example of the intricate history and value of U.S. pennies. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is part of the final years of the wheat cent series before the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial Cent in 1959. By this time, the coin's design had been in circulation for over 4 decades, and it had seen many changes in the American economy, from the Great Depression to World War II and the post-war boom. Despite being a coin that was produced in high numbers, the 1950 penny has become quite valuable in certain grades. Unlike the 1918 penny we discussed earlier, this 1950 coin is in much better condition, with fine details and clear features. The coin's design, featuring Abraham Lincoln's bust on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, remains as striking as ever. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, has been a symbol of American unity and resilience for decades. What makes this 1950 penny particularly notable is its large date. Some coins from 1950, especially the EI small date variety, are known for being somewhat rarer. However, the large date version, which is more common, still attracts strong demand in fine or higher grades. The IS mint mark indicates that this penny was minted in San Francisco, which adds another layer of rarity to the coin. Production of the 1950 penny was substantial, with over 200 million coins minted at the Philadelphia Mint and a smaller number at the San Francisco Mint. The San Francisco Mint produced around 28 million of these coins, making the S Mint version slightly less common than the Philadelphia counterpart. This fact alone can drive up demand among collectors. In terms of market value, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny with the S Mint mark in fine condition can fetch anywhere between $20,000 depending on the demand at auction. Coins that are in better than average condition, such as those with very fine details or with minor toning, can sell for a premium, upwards of $50 or more. So, if you're lucky enough to have one of these coins in your collection, you may want to hold on to it and see how the market develops over time. Market value, error, and collector interest. While the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny might not be the rarest penny in existence, the version with the S mint mark and in good to fine condition holds collector appeal. Errors in minting, such as double die varieties, can further enhance the coin's value. These minor misprints or off-center strikes can elevate the coin's worth to well beyond the typical price range. So, if you're a collector or investor, checking for these errors could be a worthwhile endeavor. Next up, we have the 1938 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and a DD mint mark. A coin that might not immediately come to mind when thinking of top-tier collectibles, yet its rarity, significance, and historical context have propelled it into the realm of high-value coins. The 1938 Lincoln wheat cent was minted during the Great Depression, a period that saw economic hardship for much of the United States. These coins were struck to continue financing the government's day-to-day operations and were primarily used for everyday transactions. The Lincoln wheat cent was first introduced in 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1938 coinage, though not the most significant in terms of major changes, marked the final years of the Lincoln Wheat series before the switch to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The large date variety of the 1938 coin is particularly of interest because of its sharp contrast with the smaller date varieties issued in other years. The presence of the AED mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is significant because coins minted there tend to have slightly higher value due to their more limited production in comparison to those struck at other mints, such as Philadelphia. The mintage of the 1938 Lincoln penny was a substantial 309,603,000 coins, which means that, on the surface, this coin may seem common. However, it's important to note that not all coins survive in pristine condition. As time goes on, most coins end up being lost, damaged, or simply worn down from circulation. This is where the rarity and value of the 1938 Lincoln Wheat penny with AD mint mark come into play. In circulated condition, these pennies are not incredibly rare, but the value is dependent on factors such as wear, the preservation of key details, and the demand from collectors. For example, a 1938 penny in circulated condition with AID mint mark can fetch around $47,000. But when in better condition or with unique features, it can reach much higher prices. The 1938 Lincoln Wheat penny with AD mint mark is highly sought after by collectors, especially those focusing on completing their wheat penny sets. While the coin's mintage numbers suggest it was produced in large quantities, the demand for well-preserved examples has made it an attractive piece in the market. In today's auction market, depending on its grade, a 1938 Lincoln Wheat penny with a AD mint mark can fetch values ranging from $1 to upwards of $25 or more for higher grade coins. Coins in lower circulated grades are on the more affordable end, but those in fine or better conditions can command impressive prices. Additionally, coins with any unique errors, such as double dies or other striking anomalies, can drive prices even higher. For instance, a 1938 penny with a noticeable die crack or double die can attract premiums, sometimes bringing in $100,000 or more, depending on the severity of the error. To wrap up on the 1938 Lincoln Wheat penny with AD mint mark, this coin is a great example of how a seemingly common coin can carry significant value depending on its condition, errors, and the interest from collectors. Whether you're just starting your collection or you're looking for an affordable but valuable piece, this penny deserves a place in any collection. Next up, we're looking at the 1952 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with a large date and an S mint mark. This coin is a standout in the Wheat penny series due to its minting history and its role as a key date in collectors' sets. The year 1952 was a post-World War IEI period in the United States, where the country was experiencing a recovery from the war's economic strains. The Lincoln Wheat penny, which had been in circulation for over 40 years at this point, was still widely used in daily transactions. It was also a time of change for coinage, as the U.S. Mint began focusing on new coinage designs, though the Lincoln Wheat penny would remain unchanged for several more years. The 1952 penny was issued with both large and small date varieties, with the large date being the more common of the two. The AASE's mint mark signifies that the coin was minted in San Francisco, which was known for producing coins with a distinct look due to the mint's unique handling of dies and the final strikes. Just like other coins in the Lincoln Wheat series, the 1952 penny features Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the year 1952, and the obverse with the year 1952, and the Aussie's mint mark beneath the portrait. The reverse features the familiar stalks of wheat surrounding the inscription 1 cent with United States of America and a pluribus unum surrounding it. One of the design highlights of this coin is the clarity of Lincoln's profile, which in higher grades stands out beautifully. The S mint mark gives this coin a particular appeal, especially for collectors who are focusing on mints, specific varieties of the wheat penny. The mintage of the 1952 Lincoln Wheat penny with NAS mint mark was just over 134 million coins, making it relatively common in terms of availability. However, as with any coin, the true rarity is determined by the condition in which it survives. Many of the 1952 pennies were heavily circulated, meaning finding a specimen in fine condition or better can be a real challenge. This makes higher, grade examples of the 1952 penny with an as-is mint mark more desirable to collectors. The market value of the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny with any as-is mint mark fluctuates based on condition. In circulated condition, you can expect this coin to be worth between $67,000, however. When you look at examples in fine or better condition, the value jumps significantly. In fine condition, this coin can fetch between $65,000 to $5, while those graded at higher levels can see values in the $70,000 range. Mint state examples can reach values of $80,000 or more, particularly when they come with exceptional eye appeal or are certified by professional grading services. Additionally, coins with rare errors like die cracks or double strikes will significantly increase in value, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars at auction. The 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the S Mint mark is a great example of how a common coin can become a highly sought after piece based on its condition, minting location, and error potential. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, this coin is definitely one to watch in the world of coin collecting. Next up, the 1942 Abraham wheat 1-cent coin, often referred to as the Lincoln wheat penny, was minted during a period of global unrest. The United States was deeply involved in World War I, and the penny's design was meant to honor the nation's 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. While the coin's basic design would remain the same throughout the 1940s, 1942 is notable for its role in a transitioning economy, as copper resources were increasingly diverted for war efforts. The 1942 coin with the D mint mark was struck in Denver, which is important for collectors because mint marks add to the uniqueness and rarity of a particular coin, especially when it's tied to specific regions. This particular penny, though, is often found in less than perfect condition, making it even more exciting for collectors who want to find well-preserved examples. The obverse of the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse of the coin shows 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural strength. However, this particular coin, dirty and with a reddish color shade, has been affected by age, storage conditions, and perhaps even environmental exposure, which changes the tone and look of the coin's surface. The reddish hue is typically associated with copper oxidation or tarnishing, and these unique features can increase a coin's appeal, especially for collectors interested in toned or aged examples. The 1942 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in large quantities, with the Denver Mint producing over 430 million pennies that year. However, despite the high mintage, a coin in dirty condition with an interesting color hue could see a sharp increase in value if it's part of a unique find. The market value for this coin in such a condition can vary, depending on its overall grade and any specific errors it may possess. But collectors often look for pieces with unique attributes, like unusual toning or minor errors that add to the coin's story. Coins with unique patinas like this one can see prices ranging anywhere from $88,000 or even more, depending on auction dynamics, provenance, and rarity at the time of sale. Errors in this coin can significantly impact its value. For example, if the coin has been struck incorrectly, such as off-center or with a double die, its price can rise dramatically. Although most 1942 pennies were mass-produced, special error coins from this era can attract attention from collectors. The coin's color shade, which may seem dirty, but is in fact a sign of natural aging or a result of exposure to certain elements, can create unique visual effects that make it more desirable. The collector interest lies in finding these uniquely aged or colored examples, which have become a niche within the broader coin collecting market. Thanks for joining us, Happy.